What's up? Welcome back to another Rat Pack review. I'm Peter.
I'm Daniel.
Um, we just saw Sorry to Bother You.
Yep.
It was a pretty exciting movie. We went in pretty blind. Daniel had no idea what was going on.
I just agreed to go see it.
Yeah. Um, Daniel, what were your initial impressions?
Um, we walked to the theater and we saw the poster, and it was just a purple background with a African guy with dreads and short dreads, and I was like, oh, this is probably a movie about social justice or like equality of some sort. Not the case, really. Close, but not
Yeah.
what I thought.
Yeah, it was
It was
it was cool. It was really interesting because it was similar. So it took place in Oakland,
yeah.
and it seemed like kind of present day.
It was in the ghettos too,
It was in the ghettos of Oakland,
probably East Side.
and it was just weird.
It started off normal.
It seemed like it was like people we could relate to, but then it just wasn't. Like there was only like three channels.
Yeah, there's only 3 shows you could watch.
There's like only like 3 places you could work. Something like that. I don't like.
It was weird because like half the show or half the movie took place in like Oakland, rundown Oakland, where yeah, it's just the majority is black community, and then the others is like big city white people. So it only
Yeah.
took place in those 2 areas. Um,
I think it did have some um, like racial equality slash like human equality, like tones to it. Um,
Human equality was the big one.
yeah, for sure.
Mainly because we were kind of surprised. We're gonna dive into it, but we were surprised to see horse people.
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah, and to further just like go into that, there's this company that basically sells slaves to big corporations, kind of like slave work. Um,
But they deny it at the same time and like think that they're doing a good thing
yeah, and it's like,
when they clearly are not.
and the problem was us as humans are weak and not efficient and not strong, so they infuse certain traits into your DNA, which allowed you to be stronger, more like a horse, really.
Yeah.
And the main character, Cassius,
Cassius Green.
he exposed that, but he exposed it in a form of like Martin Luther King, showing the problem, which didn't fix the problem and kind of made it worse,
Yeah.
because it kind of marketed, and all these big businesses kind of went into the whole horse ordeal,
Yeah.
full throttle.
Yeah, that was interesting. And also the people it touched on the subject of like people being weak and that like weak-minded, and even though like they knew that that was wrong, like no one spoke up and like stood against
Because it's part of
the
the
people in power.
bigger agenda.
Yeah.
The meaning behind all of it, it's very encrypted in my mind.
Yeah. There was no I wouldn't say there was like a clear meaning. I think it was like a movie to like make sure that people were questioning what was going on. I think that was kind of like the meaning behind the movie.
Yeah, it kind of shows like the corruption as you work your way up into the huge companies, whether it's Apple or, I'm not saying Apple's making horse people, but like, you start at the bottom and you're like a telemarketer, and you work your way up and you get more money, and then as you get to the head dogs, that's when you kind where all the problems were. That's what happened, at least in the movie, and that kind of is similar. It could be similar to all the big corporations that run the world, basically. That like we don't know what they're doing. For all we know, they could be making human hybrids, or we're getting into some weird conspiracies right now. But like basically, that's where the movie kind of takes you. You know, makes you think.
Yeah.
instead of just get stuck in the system.
Yeah. Also, like the girlfriend, her art show, like,
It was about Africa.
yeah, it's about Africa. But then also like, Cassius was right in that like why was she um like subjecting herself to like people like throwing things at her and stuff? Why can't they just like talk about it and like I don't know. Maybe that was the best way she saw to like make change. But I don't know. That was an interesting scene.
Sneak peek.
Little peep show.
But there's so many ways of interpreting the movie. The way I kind of focused on and leaned towards was the fact that, it's all about like human rights and how we need to make a. It's weird because it's like a fusion of like black rights mixed with human rights, but in a really odd way.
Yeah.
It's definitely a movie that you gotta see more than once.
It was pretty funny too. There were some funny parts.
It was good humor.
Yeah.
Good humor.
They're like just a lot of like subtle things. Not so much jokes, but just like weird, interesting things. Like Cassius's car. That was one of my favorites. It was just like, it was a junker. It was awesome.
I was really confused with the African guy that worked in that building.
That
One
taught
with
him
the
about
weird.
and the eye patch.
Yeah, it's like the last time we saw him was when they did the final bombardment with the NFL players or the college players or high school players,
Yeah.
and he just walked off with a smirk, and that's the last time we saw him. So that leaves me questioning. And then to a certain extent, because I saw Get Out, and I was like, that guy's like very white, even though he's not. Oh wait, we saw him in the end when he spoke in his normal kind of tone. So it kind of made me think like, was he kind of corrupted and or like fused into the system of kind of being similar with the movie Get Out, kind of like brainwashed, you know? And Cassius kind of did that too when he was in bed and he was like, "Oh, I didn't realize I was doing that white voice," you know.
Yeah.
And then like that just made me think like, is that like white America or white world? I don't know. It's just a whole bunch of stuff that we don't understand. But
Cool. Well, thanks for watching our video.
I think
Like and subscribe. See you
Yes.
next time.
Rat Pack.
Rat Pack.